What's up, Dice Crew? Keeping it a Benji, and I'm getting back with y'all. Now, look, we got Trey sitting down with Vlad, speaking on DW Flame. I don't know if y'all familiar with it or not, but a while ago, DW Flame was pretty much like under Trey D umbrella. I don't know if he was signed on contract or what, but I'm sure they probably gonna speak on that. So, let's tune in and see what Trey D got to say. Shout out to the Dice Crew and shout out to the sponsors, Yard Down Bullies. I'm gonna have a link in the description so y'all can tune in with them. Let's rock.
Let's talk about what's going on with you.
Righteous.
The first time I ever met DW Flame was a favor for you.
Mm-hmm.
You said, I got this artist I'm working with named DW Flame. Could I bring him in to do an interview?
Right.
So you brought him in. We did the interview.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he got locked up afterwards.
Right.
And came back and did another interview.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was pretty much it in terms of my interaction with him. I think he went over to No Jumper.
Right.
He did some stuff over there. And at one point, he had some issues with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think DW Flame went to be MTV before he went to No Jumper.
He felt that you gave him a bad contract.
Mm-hmm.
What was that about?
He didn't read his contract. We gave him the best contract that anybody. We were going back and forth with our lawyer and our business partners. Like, why are you guys giving him all this? Why? And my wife and I were trying to set a precedent. We both co-CEOs in the company, Supreme Circle Music Group. So we were just trying to make sure we laid it all out for him. We were going to give him his own label in the process, Beachbound Records. How would I know this if we didn't discuss this? And we had everything pretty much set up for him. And someone must have gotten in his ear and told him that, things weren't happening as fast for him as they possibly should have or something. So, he decided to go in another direction, non-contractually. And, that still hasn't been resolved to this point, so, we're still in the midst of that, in life, as a man, as a family man, never wish ill on nobody, wish everybody success, all the best in life. But, certain things that you commit to and are bound to when people invest in you and believe in you and bring you up from obscurity, then, you can't just, jump out the boat and swim to another ship. That it don't crack like that in the music biz. So that's what happened, and that's kind of like where we exist right now.
I mean, that's a cold situation. I don't know what's true or what's not. I didn't read the contract. I'm just not directly in their business. But, if DW Flame did do that, I mean, hey, maybe he had some good reasons to do that. But at the end of the day, I do understand what Trey D is saying. When you help somebody and you help them elevate, put some bread in their pocket, just level them up in general. And then when things kind of get to a good standpoint or whatever, they willing to go another direction. And I ain't saying that like this is just about the DW Flame and Trey D situation, but I'm just speaking in general that you will have people out here that would just, turn their back on you after you help them or elevate them or whatever it may be.
To see it. I really do. Because I'm involved in the story overall, not in the business on any aspect, but obviously, like I said.
And this is no disrespect to DW Flame, but I don't think he really grew a lot more on the music side of things. I feel like he just grew more on like the notoriety. His face is out there, his name is out there. He's kind of like more like an actor / like podcaster. Like, he just like overall upping his whole public figure. That's how I would put it. But it's not so much with the music, but I think he's definitely like elevating his whole public figure status.
You call me and, was like, "Hey, can you do this for me based on our relationship?" And I
Right,
said yes.
right.
So
Right.
and that
Put him
kind of
right
gave
there
his
next to me. Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
right there next to you. And that kind of gave him his start in the media. I feel.
Right.
I think I don't think he would deny that on any level.
No, it was a huge favor, and I really appreciated you for doing.
I mean, bringing a person on Vlad, you know, Vlad have always had somewhere around 5 million subscribers. Bringing him on that, and it's kind of like it's a legendary platform. I feel like that can definitely jumpstart or upgrade somebody program or whatever they got going on, you know. But I mean, only DW Flame actually know what he gained from being on Vlad. You know, whether it was 100 likes, 20,000 followers, you know, $15,000. Like only he know. You know what I mean? Maybe he'll speak on it one day or not or whatever. And if he have in the past, I didn't hear it, but maybe he'll speak on it one day and say what all really took place. But right now, it's just like we only got what Trey Deee saying.
That, you know what I mean? Because I was trying to bring him to prominence as a true artist. You know, like this is somebody who's, you know, we're gonna get behind and we're gonna develop him all the way till, you know, he'd be number one, you know, on the West Coast. You know, we believed in him like that, but you know, obviously things took a negative turn, and you know, that happens often in music.
Did you guys put out any projects with him?
Yeah, we put out an album on him.
One album.
Yeah, we got to put out. We, like you said, he went to prison. While we were working with him.
Right, but then he got out.
Yeah,
he was locked up that long.
Well, he was gone about a year, maybe.
Okay, about a year.
About something like a year. Yeah, we went to court appointments, all that shit. You know, all that.
So one album came out. Did it do well?
His album came out and it didn't do well.
So that's just your first album.
Yeah, it didn't do well, and I could probably assume some of the blame for that as a label because, you know, it was our first project.
I ain't gonna lie, you know, we gotta, you know, shout out to Trey Deee for keeping it a Benji right there. He's taking some type of accountability on his part of the album not doing well.
Project that we actually put out on an end. Could probably assume some of the blame for that as yeah, it didn't do well, and I could probably assume some of the blame for that as a label because, you know, it was our first project that we actually put out on an individual artist, and it was maybe some marketing angles that weren't taken advantage of, but contractually, everything was sound in this contract. We didn't take advantage of any the 360 deal that we had in the contract.
Now, you know, I'm not saying that this is the problem or one of the problems, but in that situation right there, I can see how DW Flame might take it more personal, like, you know, like a person didn't actually care, because even though Trey Deee, this might be his first go around on some like CEO trying to run the label tip, but he have been an artist himself for years, you know what I mean, for decades. So even though I'm not saying this is exactly the case, but I can see like a person on the outside, like DW Flame, could have took it as like, man, you've been an artist yourself. You've been in the industry all these years. You pretty much know what points you need to be doing when it comes to the marketing. So, you know, maybe, you know, that might not been the case, or maybe it was, but I could see how somebody can, you know, gather those thoughts.
Track, he got every dollar for his features. We never came in and said, "Oh, you got 3,500? Okay, give us 750." You know, we never, his shows. He got all the money from his shows. We would even sometimes help him with wardrobe to go do his shows, transportation. You know what I mean? And he got all his money. It was you saw the relationship that we had when we sat up here. It was like a big homie putting his little homie on. You know, so it just didn't turn out right. So, you know, it was just a lesson.
And, you know, I liked today's situation too, because it's not every day do you get a situation where you got people coming out the same community and they pushing as one, you know what I mean, on this music scene, especially like out here in Cali, you know. I mean, in other places it'd be a little bit more. I think a couple times, like I think A Boogie and them moving like that. It's certain people, you know, but I'm just saying that would have been a good look. I mean, it was a good look then, you know, and maybe one day Trady and DW Flame can work that out, and maybe they can do some future business or whatever, because I would love to see it. And like I said, I feel like that was like a good look and a strong look.
Along with stepping into the executive role in the music business, so I'm not salty.